Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 97. You can find me online everywhere as Carolien, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Ravelry, the works. I have a web shop you can find at colourfulcreativity.nl. And of course there's the Ravelry group for chatter and the show notes of this podcast. And that is the Colourful Creativity group in the group section on Ravelry. You can also find all the links down below, links to the newsletter, links to Ko-Fi, everything, but the kitchen sink, I guess. And maybe even that, because sometimes I show my dyeing, and that is in a kitchen with a kitchen sink. Welcome everyone, welcome to all new viewers. I saw I have a few new subscribers. Lovely to have you. Apparently Binks doesn't like my new bobbin, so I'm gonna fetch it. Sorry about that. I was saying welcome also to all returning viewers. I'm happy you're sticking around and like it here. Yeah, it was a bit longer hiatus than I expected. Health and just general way too busy was the issue. That means I'm not gonna make the 100th episode as planned for my birthday, which will be in 2 weeks. But that's actually okay. For me, that means I can have 2 separate celebrations, which is always better, right? For my birthday, I have a amazing plan with a German blogger. She's gonna write something about me, and it will be also in English. I translated it in English and in German, as I'm Dutch, so I did both languages. And yeah, there's also a giveaway for that, so keep your eyes on Instagram for that. There will be some amazing new yarn, if I may say so myself, a special birthday colorway. That will probably not be limited edition because I love it so much. So yeah, I didn't make it a one-of-a-kind run. I am planning on keeping that in, but yeah, the birthday weekend will of course be the launch of that. So you can look forward to that on the 29th of February. My birthday is the day before. I'm born on the 28th. There wasn't a leap year in the year I was born, so. And I think my mom wouldn't have kept me in because she was very, very happy that after 48 hours I came out. So, enough of that. We are here today for spinning talk, and I have quite some to show you. At first I didn't have enough, and now I have a lot. So, oh well. I started my combo spin. More on that later because I have made a few extra videos for that. I made an introduction video, so past me will come in, and I have also made a time lapse of me dividing all the fiber. But first I want to show you my Advent spin. This is my Advent calendar. Those who have followed me, especially on Instagram, have seen a bit of fluff every day, and this is what it became. I think I have already shown you these smaller ones. Let me see if I can still remember it. Yeah, these two were bats, and I think all the yarn is about a worsted Aran, sometimes even partially bulky weight. I tried to spin loosely. These were just little bits of fiber, like those broken up braids. I tried to spin it loosely because I am very, very good at making barbed wire or rope, as they call it, and some of the fibers in here in my Advent calendar were very, very rustic, and I hate rustic fiber, and especially rustic yarn. But it was a big sample bag, bits of everything, no names on it. It was all mixed, so you couldn't really see what was what. I also had a few mini bats still left over, so I was like, I'm going to spin those up as well by themselves and make all the mini skeins I can. So these were the ones I already had and probably already showed, and these are the new ones, and I can keep them apart because these were wound on my big yarn winder because it was a bit too precious about my shoulder, and my shoulder usually, oh I'm forgetting one, usually hurts when I use the Niddy Noddy a lot, and I would have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 minis, so that's a bit much for my shoulder. Let's see, this was bat, and I think that was about it. So I had bats, and these are merino, and these are super soft and lovely. Absolutely love them. And then we have pretty much a bit more rustic fiber, but still very soft. And I spun the singles kind of loosely, and then did the plying even looser, and that really helped. My friend said to me, if you're gonna spin that, you have to do a low twist because it's gonna be rope otherwise. My friend is a spinning teacher, so I'm very lucky that I get to hang out with her sometimes, and I get these tips in between. I still consider myself a newbie spinner. I know I'm not quite newbie, so I'm probably just over newbie now, but yeah. I know what I like now, and this is usually not it, but I'm okay with this. And yeah, I plied everything in 2-ply, and did that most of the times by making an Indian bracelet. So this is all very, very hairy and rustic. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a halo on it. I'd say from here to Tokyo, but yeah. It's really, really fuzzy. I think this is a bit like locks, Corriedale locks maybe. I'm not even sure if that's Corriedale. I think I spun some Corriedale and that wasn't rustic at all. Those locks, are they Shetland? Well, not even sure. This is something I cannot handle well. No, not at all. Prick, prick, prick. Yeah, it has a very high itch factor. I'm not really fond of it at all. I spin it loosely. It's not rope. It's soft for something that is so coarse. But yeah, I'm not a fan. This is the only one I did a real 2-ply of, because I had 2 bits of fiber that were almost alike but weren't the same. I was like, yeah, I'm now gonna 2-ply this because I've had it with these Indian bracelets and with this stuff, because it was so loosely plied it kept breaking as well. So yeah, all probably almost bulky Aran weight, I guess. So that was my advent calendar, and I will say it was a lot of fun. I spun out of my comfort zone. I learned a lot of new things. I yeah, just did things differently than I would usually do. I go for that braid of super soft merino, maybe a little bit of silk, nylon added, nice and shiny, smooth, slick, thin, etc. This was the total opposite. Coarse, thicker, 2-ply instead of a 3-ply, low spun instead of high twist. So yeah, it was good. And then we got to the combo spin. As for the advent, just a little remind, if you have those bits of fiber you're not sure about and you think, yeah, I probably don't like it, and you like the idea of an advent calendar, you could, of course, break things up in bite-sized pieces. I think I had about 10 grams a day. You can do 20 if you want to spin more in a day, but make it bite-sized pieces for you, and maybe a few days of the same, or if you like to mix things for a nice big combo spin, just do it like that, and you probably might surprise yourself what comes out, because there are a few in there that I actually like, and I know for sure they're not merino because they're not super soft. So combo spin time. Whoop. I have made a first skein as a sample to see how all the fiber would go together. In the video you get to see me splitting up the braids of fiber, so I show you what I have in there. I think I have a total of 6 different ones. Maybe I took one out and it's 5. I'm not quite sure. Probably 5. From what I see now, Spinning Mermaid, Countess Blaze, 2 hand dyed, and some leftover floofs. So I had about 450 grams, and I divided it up in 5 different bags. So 90 gram each was the goal. And the first one I did separate in another 2 segments, so I would have like 45 grams each, and I could make 1 skein. With that, I spun 2 singles and then went for it. I only have like, I think not even 5 meters left on the second bobbin. So I was really good at keeping the yarns the same. And this is the skein I have, and I love it. There are different kinds of fiber in here, merino and silk, Cheviot, BFL, and I think also some merino and something else, maybe even more silk and some unknown stuff. And this is super soft. You can totally see the pieces where I have like the Cheviot, because it's super bouncy and super fluffy. And you have also the pieces where there's a merino and silk. They're super nice and thin and slick, and I love that sheen. And yeah, here is that super bouncy. Here is the silk plied with the Cheviot. You can just see that. The only issue with my sample skein is it's not enough meters per weight, so I spun it a bit too thick. I need about 350 meters in 100 grams, I think. It has to be a sport weight, so 300 to 350. And this is more like a DK weight. So I have about 270 meters in this one, I think. Or it's the calculation for 100 grams, but it was just a bit short. I am planning to spin this for a shifty, or the shifty sweater. Shift sweater, well, the one by Drea Renee Knits, Andrea Maury. And yeah, here are my bags I still have to do. I need about 350 grams. So, and this is actually about that, because I had 100 grams more than I need. So that's a good thing. I have to try and spin that a bit thinner, and if that doesn't work out, I will just have 5 skeins of, well, sport to DK weight. I might be able to use this for the ribbing or something. Not go down a needle size, but go up a yarn weight. I think I can still use it in the sweater. I think I'll be fine. And since I have new dresses now without sleeves and with pockets, you can't see it, but yeah, trust me, they're there. I'm okay with crop length, so if I have to make it a bit shorter, it's fine. So yeah, my combo spin. And now we're going to past me to tell you all about it. And show you the time lapse of me making those bags I just showed you. So, here to take you on a combo spin journey with me. I am going to combine things I would never dare I would combine. But I am planning for a shifty sweater from Drea Renee Knits, and that is done I think in almost completely spin cycle yarns, but I want to do hand spun. And yeah, for my main color I am thinking something greenish, and since it is a hand spun look sweater, it does not have to be perfect, it does not have to be semi-solid, it does not have to be anything. So I am going to try and see where this is going to. There are more combo spin videos on YouTube, and the one I have watched and am taking my inspiration out of, sorry, Binks is here annoying me. He wants to jump on, but he can't. And the one I am getting my inspiration of and following how to do it is the one from Tracy. Tracy is the Passionate Spinner podcast, and she can also be found as Schnuffeltier on Instagram or Ravelry. And I think the way she did it works very good for me too. So I'm going to show you now what I'm going to use, which fibers, and then I will put in a time lapse of me separating it all, because it is way too long to show this as is. So the first one I am using is this Countess Ablaze, and this is merino and soybean. Let me get that. Nobody Is My Name, and this is from the Odyssey Trail Book 9. That's where it got its inspiration from. And as you can see, this is green, and green is where we're going. This has been in my stash for quite a while, and it might be a bit felted because of that, but we'll see what happens. This is a non-superwash. It also says on the label, hand wash unless you intend to felt. So the next one is a wonderful birthday gift I received from a friend, and this is from the Spinning Mermaid Fibers. You can see it. And this is called Irish Moss on her Glisten Roving. And this is 70% merino and 30% silk. So another merino silk. Then I have two little bits of floof. This is some, yeah, I say roving, I pulled from a bed where I tore up the bed in strips, and the rest of the bed has become a gradient, and this is left over because that green just didn't fit the gradient. And this little bit is some sample I got, probably with a spindle. So green, 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 and more green. And then I actually had different things planned, but I threw them out because I found some more green in my hand-dyed fiber stash. This is this one, Cheviot, and this one is BFL. So two totally different sheep, and what I would normally do is scream, throw them away on the side out of this pile and find another green merino and silk combination, so everything would be merino and silk. And for this I'm challenging myself, adding something else to the mix to keep it interesting. This is gonna be a hand wash sweater anyway, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how these fibers will react. My friend Angela from the Yarn and Yarns podcast, she did a combo spin, or she is working on a combo spin as well, and she also did a video on it. I think I'm going to follow her example I'm going to split this up and then make one sample skein, just to see how it works, if it will work. And if not, I can always change my plans. So yeah, I thought that would be a good idea. Not to do a full 400 and almost 50 grams and then find out it doesn't work. So yeah, I guess it's time for me to go and split this stuff up. I'm going to unravel them, put them out, break them in length and break them horizontal, and see how much I get, especially from these. I think 450 gram will be like 5 bobbins. My bobbins can do about 100 grams, so I'll split it in 90 gram bags when I have all the bags about the same. So 90 gram bags, 5 bags, that means this bit has to go into 5 bits. So every bit has this, and then I even have to split it more, because I want to 2-ply it, and if I 2-ply it, oh yeah, I can, and then just break the singles when I have 100 gram on the bobbin, and then do the other 250 gram on the next bobbin and have another 100 gram. So I could do just 100 gram singles and then mix and match them. So the cats are having a vocal hour. I have no clue what's wrong today. They were finally quiet, and I'm sorry, during the video they start again. So sorry for that. But we're gonna see what this is gonna look like later. I hope you liked that. I'm recording this now without having seen it again, so I'm probably gonna forget stuff I want to say, but sorry about that. There's always next time, and I hope next time I'll be a bit further in the combo spin, so I can show you a bit more. Then we have a brand new segment for the spinning podcast. What did my husband make me this time? We ordered some new filament, and he ordered some copper shiny silky filament, and I love it. And he made this spindle, and this spindle, this Turkish spindle, will be a prize for the Colourful Spin Along. So if you want to win this, please join. It is mostly done in the Ravelry group, and there is also a hashtag Colourful SAL. Will be down here as well. And yeah, I hope you join me. It's a bit quiet there, so we have to get some new posts in there. I didn't post my combo spin yet, so I will kick it off there. I hope to see you. And yeah, I just had a prize drop last time, I think. Was it the time before? Well, at least there wasn't much chatter after that, so I hope you join me. And there are some nice prizes to win still. Hand-dyed fiber. I still want to make some RFI's hooks, so there's one of those. And now this spindle and 2 fighting cats in the back. You can't win those, but it's also too funny to cut out, so I'll just continue. Oh, actually, I have a solution for that. So, and the quiet will return in a sec, or it will continue over there. Oh well, we'll see. Then my husband was also designing me a bobbin, and he used my Louet bobbin, and Woolmaker's Bliss is also Louet. Idea of the hole with the little slit over it. I'm not sure you can really see that. There it is. To attach your leader instead of having to knot it or put it on with a piece of sellotape. And he was very, very proud because he made it so that the leader won't get cut. The ones we have is a different material, but if you do it in this filament, it's kind of sharp on the edges. So he made it rounded, and he was so proud he managed to do that, and I'm really proud of him as well. And the only thing he wants to do now is make sure that there's like a seam on this stuff, and it's just beside that slit instead of having it fully straight. You can't probably see it, but you can see it in real life. So yeah. And then he designed these himself. And the only thing he was like, oh yeah, I should have flipped it, because now they are going counterclockwise and clockwise instead of going the same way on both sides. So it's more pleasant to look at when it turns, when they are both the same way. I was like, yeah, I agree. It's okay. I like it still. But if you're gonna do a next one, please try that. And he was like, yeah, I already saw that. Already trying it, but it didn't work yet. So he's still very new to all the 3D drawing, and I'm super proud already that he managed to make this. The little in-between thing falls into these, so you just click them on instead of having to glue them, and it really is a millimeter job. Filament also shrinks sometimes, some colors more than others, so it is difficult to get it right. So yeah, it's fabulous. And no, he will not be doing this commercially, probably for a while, and maybe never, because it's just not his thing. But this beats making all, let me see, where is it? I know it's behind me, there. This little boat is something he made to test stuff. My house cannot handle 1,000,000 of these boats. If I have like 20 of these bobbins, I don't care, but 20 of these boats will really bug me. So yeah, he's making these just as testers as well and trying out stuff. So he really has a purpose to make stuff. Oh, you're now here. Cuddly, cuddly, cuddly. Yeah. Cat update. We've been at the vet and they have gotten their A+ stamp. That is the first time, I think, in a long time that both cats were totally fine and didn't need to have dental surgery or anything. We've been brushing their teeth like every other day and it is working wonders. So hopefully we won't have to be back until next year for their boosters. And yeah, very good cats. Then I have a small but significant acquisitions part for fiber. I have the newest Ply magazine, Prep. My friend had this one twice and she asked me if I wanted it and I was like, yeah, sure. So yeah, I got it and it is really, really gorgeous. I mean, you have all these kinds of preps. And let me see. Here you can see for drum carders, which I have, of course, a small one. Miss Laia is in the litter box now. That's what you're hearing. How to use your hand carders. Let me see. No. Here you have an article about how to, what to do with a braid. Not to give it all away, but the photography is usually so gorgeous. There is something about natural dyeing in here. Not too much of a fan of that. I tried it, but I'm not good at it. So, Shetland sheep. Also, yes, Miss Laia. Of course you have to make nice. So, I really like Ply magazine. I'm a big fan of it. I have quite a few. I do not have a subscription. I am more someone who buys a magazine when the topic is something I like. I mean, for spindle spinning, my shoulders don't really like that. My cats love it. So yeah, I'm not gonna be spindle spinning that much, so I don't need a whole issue about it. Maybe I even have that issue, I'm not sure. But my favorite issue is the color issue. And I have like the woolen issue, the worsted issue to explain what the difference is, how to do it, etc. So yeah, that's about Ply magazine. Next up, I got myself a new bottle of spinning oil. Of course, I found the other one again, but I still now have a backup. So I'm okay with that. And with that, I also ordered some white fiber, some Rambouillet and some other stuff. I ordered it at Das Wollschaf in Germany. They're quite reasonable. They have a huge selection of undyed fibers and also dyed fibers and everything else. Not showing you that because like a big ball of floof white doesn't show you much. Then in this IKEA bag, so it wouldn't get messed up, is a prize I won in the LSG, and this is coming from Australia, I think. I think it was Australia. Otherwise New Zealand, but I think it was Australia. I first will show you the candy that I saved. Caramel koalas from Cadbury. And they got a bit squashed, so they're gonna get eaten very, very soon now. I saved them to show you, just like these Fruit Tingles Lifesavers. I had never heard of it before, and I'm very, very curious to try. And then, of course, the most important part, besides this card. I love that quote. I mean, hello, knitting fills my days. Not to mention the living room, bedroom and closets. Very much true. But here it is. This is a bit of a sample of Optim Merino, and Optim Merino is so soft, and the prep is pretty much like it is silk. This feels like it could be silk. So I'm very curious how it's gonna spin. My friend also had a bit of this when I saw her last, and she was spinning it, and it looked amazing, and it spun so thin and gorgeous sheen, like yeah, like it was silk. So, but it is merino, so it's absolutely amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to using that and trying it. So yeah, I guess with that I showed you everything that's around me, and yeah, I hope to see you again next week, actually, with a knitting update, because I have plenty to share. I have some finished objects. Very excited about those finished objects, but I want to see that I weave in all the ends as well and have real finished objects and not fake finished objects. Well, not fake, but cheating finished objects. And of course, I want to show you next week a little teaser of the birthday yarn, but I'm saving that for the knitting update. And well, I hope to see you again in a week already. So have a good week. Bye bye.